Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today is part 2 of the overhaul of the craft room. So if you're new around here and you're just coming here for this editing video, I have stage 4 renal cell carcinoma and a fracture in my back that is trying to heal, and a fracture in my leg that is also trying to heal, and I'm not allowed to sit up in bed unless it's just 30 degrees, unless I wear this annoying back brace. So this is why I'm working laying down. Okay, now you guys got that. Good. Last week we shared with you that I was working at the table and we did a bunch, and this is just really the next day, but I'm of course exhausted because of all the work we did yesterday. But what I'm doing now is I'm just getting all of the things from my husband that are just for me to go through. He can just bring them into me. I can sort them and organize them. He puts them away from me, and we work like a well-oiled machine. I do like to share this with you because a lot of people, as you've seen in the introduction, cleaning with limitations is one of the big keys. Sort of the big points on my channel is I have, even before I was diagnosed with cancer, I had limited mobility because of this arthritis and type 2 diabetes. I know being overweight doesn't help. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. When I'm just, and I think of Louis Anderson when you guys point that out, or when some people point that out, and Louis Anderson's old comedy routine was like, oh, like I woke up one morning, oh no, like when people tell you that you're fat, it's just so funny. Anyway, in all seriousness, this is just one of the things that I can do. I hope and pray to you guys that you have a partner in doing this, and if you don't, I will have plenty of videos of how to do it myself. What I do on those days is I take whatever little energy I have and I bring the baskets and boxes and things full of stuff, and I put them on the bed, and then I rest, and then I sit up, and then I organize. And then when I'm ready and I've rested enough, I take the organized baskets, boxes, or whatever, and I put them back. And this is how I can do it by myself, so I encourage you to do it by yourself. If you can't do boxes and boxes, maybe just tackle one bag at a time. Unpack your bag, go through it, organize it into piles, and then as you can get up, maybe to go to the restroom, take a pile. Next time you go get something to eat, take a pile, and so on and so forth. But what I have here is this, mentioned in the previous video. This is just sort of the primary organization. If you're new to my channel, I talk about the 3 steps of organization. There's the primary, just basically getting everything in their own categories, doing a initial purge of things that, maybe garbage, maybe broken, that you bought for someone else and you forgot to put it in their pile, or so on and so forth. And then we have the secondary purge, or secondary organization, which is to take those individual areas and become, like, not brutal necessarily, but to organize them into liked items and see how many of each you have, and such on and so forth. And then finally, the tertiary organization, which is basically the final pare down and stacking and putting things away where they belong. Okay? So what I have here is this basket I keep on the floor with all my long things. So you could see they're like yard signs and plungers and the garden stakes and all those things I kept in one space because like it's one of those things you're like, I know I got them. I know I want to do X, Y, and Z with them. But in the meantime, where do you keep them? So what I've done there is I've just taken them, organized them, pared them down, and then put them back in that particular basket until I'm ready to go to the next step, which is find a more permanent home for them. Okay. Now this goes on, and we have lots of things, as you guys know. I think my favorite little hack there is, as you saw Jim take out, the IKEA garbage bag holder that a lot of people use for their vinyl. I actually have it for my long stems. It's actually quite perfect for long stems. The only thing is you have to find a really good secure place to hang it. One of the things we're going to do is we're going to actually attach it with screws to the wall instead of just the sticky. Because the flowers are a little bit more heavy than garbage bags, as you can imagine. Okay. So Dollar Tree sells shirts from time to time, and that's what these are. These are some Dollar Tree shirts that I want to use in a project coming soon, just to show you how inexpensive you can do a t-shirt, maybe repair the little holes that you sometimes get in Dollar Tree t-shirts. But I have these in 3X, and even if we just needed them for fabric, buying the biggest ones is always the best way to go. Okay, so you'll get the biggest bang for your buck. Now, as you can see, Jim's in both pictures, so the timing doesn't match perfectly, but you can see what he's doing on the top, and you can see what I'm doing on the bottom. We're doing this plastic bag. This is from the Dollar Tree. It's one of those, I don't know, they call it storage bags, one of those extra large storage bags, and it's got a handle on it, which I really like because it's good for hanging. But what I have in here is kind of like all of the projects, the sewing type projects that haven't gotten completed or need to go someplace that don't have a home permanently because they're not done yet. And they're all going to go into a nice Ziploc bag and off to the side. Jim is going to bring me more and more things, and we're going to organize them as we go. Ooh, or I just throw it. No big deal. I just throw it. If you guys don't know, I got these storage cube bags from the Walmart, and they are the most amazing. Especially if you buy a lot of soda that stands up. They're really heavy duty, and I love them. They're also good for organizing as well. Okay. Now, in the next week or in the next part of this video, Jim's going to start to rip up the carpets. You guys will see that, and we're going to put down the new floor, and it's going to be amazing, and I can't wait to share it with you. The room looks so good. It is not finished organizing. I haven't finished the secondary or tertiary organization yet, so I can't wait to share that with you. But we do have all the furniture placed, and we do have things primarily organized into liked items, piles, and such. So I'm in a different outfit, but this is just later that evening. Jim on the top is actually just still him purging the top, the room from before. So as you can see, he doesn't go in the office quite as often. That's why it's like pieced together like that. So a lot of times I get gifts, and I have this kind of new rule that I've started doing since I've started purging is like one in, one out. I do that with my clothes. What do you do when you get a gift? You weren't really planning on it and you really like it, so you don't want to get rid of it. Plus, it's got a like sentimental value and everything, but you really don't have anything of your own that you're ready to get rid of. So you could come up with a solution that works for you, discuss it with your family and that type of thing, because you have to do really what's best for you. You don't want to live and drown in all your stuff. Not really quite doing Swedish death cleaning, but once I got my diagnosis, I figured it went from just regular organizing to a little bit more of a let me help my family if and when the time comes too soon, if you know what I mean. Okay? Now, some of the things I have to make decisions about is the way I had my desk set up before. My sewing table, sure. My craft table had a bookcase on it, which I loved, and I had all of these things at my fingertips. But now that I have the desk table in the middle of the room, I don't really have a place to put that bookcase on my table. So I do have it right behind me. I have 3 bookcases lined up behind me when I sit, and I have to figure out what I'm going to do with all the stuff that I kept on my desk. I have to organize that so that it's really and easily accessible to me without too much trouble. The most I want to be able to do is spin around in one direction or the other. So as you'll see, I'll start to come up with this stuff that was all laying on my desk, just random things. When Jim and Julie were cleaning, they were like, I don't know where this goes, so I'm just going to put it on the table, and so on and so forth. So it's stuff like that you just have to deal with. You have to take each item, put it back where it belongs. That was the hardest part about being laid up for so long, is I know that the last time I crafted, I never cleaned. I never put everything away when I was done crafting because I hurt myself the next day. So it was very, very difficult to live with that, and to know that people were putting stuff on your table that already had stuff on it that didn't belong there. So it was a matter of just like being patient with yourself, give yourself some grace, work when you can, rest when you need to, and don't ever stop. Just keep going forward. One step at a time, one bite at a time, however it goes. Isn't that the expression? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? Yeah. So just keep going. Just keep going. Keep moving forward. Take the next basket. Take the next step. Take the next bucket. Take the next pile of crap and deal with it and put it away. And then you can go on to the next pile of crap. And it doesn't take you a 6-minute video like it does some people on the internet. It'll take you a good solid couple of weeks or a good solid weekend or whatever it is. But that's okay, because that's more normal than getting it done in 6 minutes. When someone shows you a before and after of a pantry and you're like, oh, look how easy that was, and they show you like how they empty three boxes of cereal into containers, and they just show you that and they don't show you everything, it's really hard to get delusioned that you don't get to see that it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work for them too. It's good work and they like the work, but it's still a lot of work. So if you try to do it and it ends up being overwhelming or a lot of work, you get down on yourself because you're like, well, when so-and-so did it on YouTube, it didn't seem like a lot. So give yourself some grace, give yourself some patience. Take the time you need, like I said. When you're feeling good, do the work. When you're feeling do the work. When your body wants to rest, rest. Okay? But only you can be true to yourself about how much you can and cannot do and how your body truly feels and whether or not you could push forward or you want to step back. Okay? Now, moving forward, the piece of information, sure. The piece of inspiration that I'd like to give you is to say, hey, going forward, how can I avoid this overwhelming mess? It's quite simple. Make a system that's easy for you to put things away when you're done crafting. Now, I hear you. I've always said my mind is either organizing or crafty and never the twain shall meet. However, what I do like to do is I do like to at least get 50% of the things put away. The things that I need to get out of my way so I can craft the next project. And even if it's 50% of the things, that's 50% of the things you don't have to deal with later. That's 50% of the more space that you have on the table than you did a minute ago. Do you understand what I'm saying? I hope you do. Okay. And this way, things won't get built up to the point where you don't want to deal with it. When it comes to doing this sort of organizing, it's really, truly important for you to just be honest, take care of what you can, take a bite at a time, and just keep moving forward. I think that's the most important piece of advice that I can give you. Now, I absolutely love this basket. This is one of those things that when your bestie has it and you just know someday you're going to inherit it, but then she gives it to her daughter and you know someday you're going to inherit it, and then finally you do. Yep, that's this basket. It has 3 compartments in the front and 1 in the back. It's kind of like a fancy picnic basket, silverware holder and plate holder. But what it fits perfectly is the wide mouth 1 pint mason jars in the front. I have their rings on but no lids, and I use them to hold the current glue sticks. One of them has chalk and the other one has pens, and just the regular writing pens. And in the back, I always kept my little notepads and extra stuff, basically stuff that I'm giving away because I've been not using it and I don't need it, and it might as well just go to some good home. Yeah, but the basket for sure is staying, and I think that this is one of those things that will be permanently on my desk, regardless of how I organize and what crafts I'm doing. I think that will always be there as well. Okay. And that's it. We're starting to come to the roundup here at the end. I want to share with you that motivation is do what you can, try to avoid making the mess next time, and rest when you need to. Okay? And if you don't have any help, definitely give yourself twice as much time as those of us that do have help. Okay? All right. I love you. If nobody's told you today that you are loved, remember you can always come here and hear that you are loved. And listen, as always, you guys, you take care, you God bless, and we'll see you next time. Bye.